All right, guys. So Joe Rogan, right? He's been roasting up everybody. I just did a video about Joe Rogan roasting up Joe Biden, okay, for his lies and his mental difficulties. And now he's roasting up Bill Gates, right? He's roasting up Bill Gates for giving out health advice. And again, this is one of the best roasts that I've seen of Bill Gates. But before we get in that, I just want to let you guys know that if you like my commentary, you like my channel, and you want to support my channel and my commentary, you can do so using the links in the description below. You can support the Patreon, you can support the PayPal, you can support the merch. There are multiple ways to support if you would like to do so, including getting yourselves one of my signature racist mugs, a daily reminder of the definition of racist in 2022, which basically means anybody who disagrees with the Democrat Party. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get into this clip of Joe Rogan going after Bill Gates for trying to give people health advice.
There have been some interesting pieces where folks are looking at food like they want it to be operated like IP, like software. They want you to be able to own the
It's
intellectual
interesting you say that because Bill Gates is now the largest owner of farmland in the United States.
Yeah.
We looked at that up once. There was some sort of dispute about that, but then we looked at it, said he wants
to be.
He owns a lot.
He
put it that way.
The Gates Foundation is one of the major sponsors of this study that I was just talking about.
So it's fuckery. But the thing is, like, he keeps saying that we've got to eat less meat. And, you know, we've got to cut our consumption of meat out to be healthy, and then we're going to get used to these meat alternatives. When a guy like that says that, I'm like, are you making money because of this? Like, why are you saying that? And by the way, you look like shit. Like, because if you're eating those plant-based burgers or whatever the fuck you're doing, like, you're obese. Like, a guy like that telling people about he's got these breasts and this gut, and I'm like, this is crazy. You're one of the richest guys on earth. You have access to the best nutrients, the best. You could have an amazing trainer. You could be in phenomenal shape, and you're giving out public health advice. You're giving out health advice, and you're sick. It's like literally like a non-athlete trying to coach professionals. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? How are you giving any health advice when you look like that? Your health is piss poor. I'm not a doctor. But when you've got man boobs and a gut and you're walking around, you have these like toothpick arms, I'm like, hey, buddy, you're not healthy.
All right, guys. So, again, that is Joe Rogan roasting up Bill Gates for trying to give out health advice or advice on how we should be eating. Okay, now here's the thing. I don't necessarily know if Bill Gates is, trying to advise people on eating less meat necessarily for health, as much as it's more about the whole climate change thing, right? But with that being said, even if it's about climate change, I simply say I don't care, right? That's one of those things that is a non-starter for me, right? These people out here that say, oh, you need to eat less meat, or that, you're going to have to eat bugs and roaches and insects and synthetic meat, right, to save the planet. And I'm like, well, if that is what it takes to save the planet, then I guess that the planet's just going to be destroyed, because I'm not giving up meat, right? I'm not giving up meat, right? And the thing is that a lot of these guys in their crusade against meat, okay, they're doing it for money, okay? Because Bill Gates himself, again, he does own a large amount of farmland in this country, okay? And guess who would benefit substantially from society moving towards eating less real meat and eating more synthetic / processed meat, or what they call plant-based foods, okay? Bill Gates would benefit heavily because, I mean, this guy co-funded the imitation meat startup Impossible Foods, right? So he owns a company that processes the processed food, okay? And he also owns the farmland that is going to be growing the food, right? Can we all figure out how this guy is benefiting from pushing this agenda? Okay, he's benefiting very much, right? All in the name of saving the planet, he says. Okay, you got to stop eating meat. You can't eat your hamburger, right? Well, like I said, that ain't going to work for me, right? Because it's between saving the planet and continue to eat my steak. I'm going to eat my steak, right? And I don't care what you say, right? I don't care. You can cry about it, okay? But, he is giving out health advice, right? Specifically as he has been very, very, very outspoken on the pandemic. Right. And for whatever reason, he's seen to be some type of expert on this issue of viruses and the pandemic, even though he does not have any background whatsoever in any of this stuff, right? He doesn't have a biology background. He doesn't have a background in infectious diseases. He doesn't have a background in public health. He's not a scientist. He's a tech guy, right? He's a tech guy. But for whatever reason, people are looking up to this guy for advice on what countries should be doing during this pandemic. I don't understand. I mean, this guy went as far as to advocate for if other countries did what Australia is doing, then, hey, we can avoid pandemics in the future. Again, incredible stuff, right? Again, this guy has just as much credentials as some random dude on the internet, right, YouTube or whatever, that, is talking about the pandemic and what they think should happen and whatnot. And, the dude on YouTube or whatever, he'll get banned for misinformation, but, Bill Gates can be wrong all day long, okay, on things. And, this guy is some expert that we should listen to, even though he doesn't have any background, right? No real credentials. Again, it's amazing stuff. And I think that gets to the heart of what Joe Rogan is saying here, the point that he's trying to make, is that we have people out here that are trying to talk to us about things that they know nothing about, that they can't even show us from a physical perspective, just from an outward and appearance perspective, that they know anything about, right? This whole pandemic has basically been people mainly on the left, okay, the crusaders on the left, the COVID crusaders, trying to tell other people that, hey, you must adopt my lifestyle because my lifestyle will save your life, right? My lifestyle is healthy, right? I know what's good for your body. While at the same time, a whole lot of these people that are giving this advice are obese, right? They're not in shape. They're not healthy, okay? They're the ones that are at the most risk because they don't take care of themselves, right? Bill Gates being one of those people, okay? He pushes, veganism and being a vegetarian, right? As if anybody who adapts that diet, right? A diet that, some of these people is, all of them, they're just eating McDonald's fries and cookies and Oreos all day. But they're just saying, oh, no, that's just objectively better for you, right? While at the same time, again, having all these health issues and eating all this junk food and processed stuff, okay, that causes its own health issues. But just because, you eat meat, you eat a steak every now and then, oh, you're a bad person. You're killing the planet. Matter of fact, you're also hurting yourself as well, too, right? But the person that's eating the steak can be in the best shape. They can exercise, go to the gym, right? Take all their vitamins, eat all their vegetables, right? On top of the steak. But, hey, you killing the planet. You're unhealthy, right? Because you eat meat. Again, it's crazy stuff, man. That's the time we're living in. We're living in a time where you have advertisements for the COVID vaccine on McDonald's fries, right? And then people want to talk about, well, if you don't take the vaccine, you're putting a strain on the healthcare system. You're causing people money. While at the same time eating McDonald's, handing out McDonald's fries, which is causing obesity, which has historically put a strain on the healthcare system, right? It's amazing stuff. It's incredible stuff. But again, the point I think Joe Rogan, again, is making here is that we have a lot of people that are trying to tell us that, hey, if you got to live the way I live, you have to do what I tell you to do because it's healthy, it's best for you. But a lot of these people that are telling us this don't even have the discipline to take care of their own bodies, right? To be in shape, to not be obese, right? Just like you got a lot of people telling us that you need to do X, Y, and Z to save the planet, right? While at the same time taking private jets to climate summits, right? They're admitting the most emissions into the atmosphere by telling everybody else, hey, you're a bad person if you eat some meat, right? If Bezos, right, who, has gotten jacked, okay, somewhat, if he come out and start, saying X, Y, and Z, at least from a background perspective, he's just as not credible as Bill Gates. But hey, at least from an appearance perspective, at least the guy takes care of himself, right? At least I can say, well, at least from an appearance perspective, you appear to be healthy. Again, it doesn't mean that just because, you got six-pack abs that you're the healthiest person in the world. No, right? That was just a bodybuilder, Boston Lloyd, that died of a heart attack just a couple days ago, right? Well, he was taking drugs and stuff like that, right? So, yeah, just because you look good, right, doesn't necessarily mean that, on the inside you're healthy. But in general, if you exercise, if you eat a good diet, right, if you do what you need to do, you're going to look good, right? You're going to look decent, and you're going to be healthy, right? You're going to look healthy, and you're going to be healthy, generally speaking. But again, we have a whole lot of people that don't even do that, that's trying to tell us how to be healthy during this pandemic and what's best for us, what we should be doing with our bodies. It's some incredible stuff. So let me know what you guys think. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Most importantly, share a Black conservative perspective. Peace.